So LSU's offense will take the first swing of the game. This offense starts deep in a hole. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Got it in the middle, it's caught. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on first down. Well, they wasted no time making sure that their star touched the ball and felt the game early.
And how about the defense? You've been game planning for this guy all week long. You knew they were going to feature him. The first play, you give up a play to him. WC's over there scratching his head and saying some words that I can't say on the airway.
Incomplete. And he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic. Fortunate to get it back.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell in.
Turning it on! They get it out of bounds, couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. The execution on that screen pass is one that will go in a coaching clinic.
Nice execution on the screen. Allow the rush to come upfield. Now I release, get the ball to the running back. I got my playmaker in space. Nice chunk yardage play right there by the offense.
Quarterback making checks. Wants to go up top on first down. Going deep. And that one's incomplete. Worth taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. Receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Just about any LSU offense will make you hold your breath when they play pitch and catch.
Yeah, just such elite playmakers usually, just such speed. And listen, when you're a defense, speed kills. And LSU, no matter who plays quarterback, they always got dudes that can fly out wide that absolutely scare you.
From the shotgun, the inside kid. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
Not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
Second down, they'll go to the air. Quarterback now breaking the field. Throws to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Tigers! A great catch and run for 6. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
So Kentucky's offense will have its first possession of the game. Guys, if you listen closely, I think you can hear the jawing going already between this quarterback and wide receiver. What a matchup, Jesse. It's going to be between those two.
You know, so many people have already been talking about this individual one-on-one matchup, David. And it's going to be happening out on an island all game long. The receiver's got speed. He's got game-breaking ability, catching the football, can climb the the ladder. He's going up against one of the best shutdown corners in the game. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to stay with him, and the instincts, and he's been so great out wide in every game. This is a huge test. This is a Sunday test. Two NFL guys going at it to see who's going to take home the prize.
And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
Their opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
With the catch, it's Hamilton. Just keep giving them the easy catches until they do something to stop it.
Yeah, you're going to dictate to the defense. You're going to make the defense cover him up, and then obviously it leaves the middle of the field a little bit more wide open for receiver for a tight end. So QB keeps making the right decision, getting the ball to running back, and he's making plays.
And the Wildcats with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away. Kentucky will be forced to punt. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Hauls it in, looking for space. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Offense in a bunch formation. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Got his man downfield. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. Picks up more than 30.
That's a really nice job hauling that pass in, and you think LSU has just been such a breeding ground in recent years for receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, they all have the ability to make a play anywhere on the field, and that's what this guy can do. You can line him up anywhere. He can run routes at all three levels of the secondary. The defense has to know where he is lined up every single play.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He was in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
The Tigers can really attack on this second and short. They'll send the back in motion. Wants to throw again. Grab near the marker. It's Cox. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Kentucky has it back, and the Big Blue offense takes the field. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be second down.
Yeah, I just feel watching this offense, they need a big play. They need their confidence to get going, get the mojo going, considering they really struggled their last time out. They just don't seem to have figured it out quite yet here in the first quarter.
On the move.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Looking for a man. It's Dingle. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
Looks as if this one will be marked down around the 25. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Jump the gun just a bit, and we've got a false start.
False start on offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Quarterback on the keeper. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. As they get set to snap the time, winding down here in the quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here, and they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. And the Tigers will try to pick it up on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete to the right. And he is going to be short. He just stepped out of bounds, but he was short of the first down marker. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. After taking another look just to confirm everything, the officials on the field got it right. Play will stand. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
When you play the option and you play this responsibility football, sometimes your eyes can get lost. They didn't on that play. Nice job honing in, getting in there quickly, getting the quarterback to the ground.
The Wildcats in a good spot here with second and short. Out of the gun, the inside give. Pulled down after a nice run in there in the red zone at the 19. Kentucky going quickly. Might as well give it to him again. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, getting all he could. He'll be a few inches short.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
Hand off from the gun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I think one of the keys to this defense's success all season has been how good they've been stopping the run. They are a top 10 unit when it comes to rushing defense, and it's helped them out this year down in the red zone.
Looking to throw, it's Dingle. Takes an easy one to the back. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
Yeah, and I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding 3rd and short, understanding they're going to throw the ball really quickly, try to make...
They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on downs.
And I tell you what, you see this a lot. 4th down, I'm putting pressure on the quarterback. The defense brings the blitz. They have no answer. Nice job being aggressive on a big 4th down.
From the gun to give, looking for room. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
The Tigers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. To the ground with the back. Still on his feet at the 40. Breaks into the open. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. What perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works up front. You see guys winning their one-on-one battles. There's double teams happening. Guys are getting into the 2nd level and creating big lanes for this running back.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Right down the middle. He's got it. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
And most quarterbacks will tell you, if they start to drift and throw off their back foot, their balance isn't as good, and you're more inclined to miss like he did right there.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? They'll give it to the back. Running behind those pads, he gets a couple before he's stopped at the 18. The Tigers in the hurry up. He might want another play. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
It's good. And now the lead is extended a little further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Oklahoma was relentless today in a road win that frankly wasn't even as close as the final score indicates. This was a vintage Sooners performance, one that really should instill confidence within this program. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads it downfield. And And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Love the physicality of this secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did. Beautiful job.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. To the air, it's Dingle. Trying to set up the screen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Just a short pass to the tight end. Tackle is made at the 25-yard line, and that'll bring up a fourth down. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. Get the football! And it'll be down right there.
Nice job. A little hang time, getting it up in the air. It's coming inside the 10. That thing goes inside the 5-yard line. That is exactly how you draw it up.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him, finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. To make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Wants to adjust the pattern. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Grabbed over the middle, it's caught. That's where they'll mark him down, but what a play there to pick up a first down. And the Tigers want to crank the tempo. The play fake on 1st down. He missed. man-to-man, the accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
Yeah, just not able to connect that time with his target on the in-breaking route. Got to have a little bit better rhythm. You know these windows are going to be small over the middle of the field. And that's why you try to put some extra mustard on it, but I think that time that's what forced the incomplete.
Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They pick it off, and this defense, a much-needed play.
And that is elite third down defense. First of all, you get him in third and long, and then you look to the go-to guy, Jesse. I am committing my resources to him because I know he's a freak, and I know you as a quarterback, you're trying to find that dude.
Yeah, and it's hard, third in California, to convert that. It doesn't matter how good your receiver is, and this dude's obviously one of the best in the country, but the defense, they were all over it, they were ready for it, and they get the big pick.
High the chains now on second and long. Back to throw, it's Dingle. He's got it on the run, and he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
You get the completion, and now you set up a manageable third down situation in the red zone. This is a huge down in distance in this game.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll run play action. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have two hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. He's going for a big play downfield. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. He was hoping for that interception return for the touchdown, but he's brought down at the 27.
And that's a play the defense absolutely had to have. They've given up some big plays in this first half, and they're down on the scoreboard right now. Something positive needed to happen. Maybe that's the interception that changes the momentum in this game. It's now up to their offense to try and score some points here before the first half ends.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they've built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm.
And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
Boy, this defense is ridiculous. On point. They know how to rush the passers. Multiple guys getting it done. 5 sacks, and we are still in the first half.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Kentucky will be forced to punt. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. What a great job on that kick, bouncing it out of bounds inside the 10. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Now they're backed up here, Jesse. Wonder how aggressive they're willing to be.
I think it's going to come down to how much confidence they have in this quarterback and his decision-making, because you cannot throw an interception at this part of the field with this little time left.
And I think that's conversations you've had with the young fella on the sidelines, being like, what are you comfortable with right here that we can run? Maybe stay aggressive, but make sure I don't make that mistake.
False start on offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. He wants to change this route. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell in.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Looking to fire. Going for the big play. He's got it down the right side. The freshman brought down after bringing that one in. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking downfield on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Meyer. And he's brought down after a nice gain. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Wants to go up top on first down. He rifles one deep down the right side. And here's the third interception of the night. And the defender... And that's how we'll run out the first. LSU ready to boot it away and open this second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Kentucky has it back, and the Big Blue offense takes the field. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score, I get a stop. I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical drive here for this offense.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to pass. It's Dingle. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw. Incomplete.
It's just not the type of game this guy envisioned. Being in the second half, being less than 50% completions, he has not found any success throwing it. A lot of that you got to give to the defense. They've been in the right place and they've made plays, but he has simply not had his best game today.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And, man, this offense just searching for some way to climb back and get back into this game. They're down by 1,000, and it's not looking good. And you can't even protect your quarterback on third down. Like, everything going the other direction.
He was working his way toward midfield, but they'll stop him at the 46-yard line. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They've got the big fellas out there, a 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking to the big tight end. He's got an open man. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. They're going to need better effort to back in for this defense moving forward.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Ohio State found a way to pick up the W, and a win is a win, but this was not the type of convincing victory they've gotten used to in Columbus. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still 2 quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Give to the running back. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
Looking for a man. It's Dingle. Makes the grab. Still on his feet at the 45. Under the right. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. His offensive line trying anything to protect the quarterback at this point. Nothing's working, and they'll back up after the holding penalty. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. He'll step out of bounds at the 23-yard line after a productive play for this offense. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. We've seen a lot of the punt team 6 times tonight. And the ball comes to rest right there. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Fires to the big fella. He'll go out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and deep in your own end, you need plays like that. Really good job working through it. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
Got him downfield. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown, Tigers! And they take it in for 6 more points. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. The defense has no clue how to respond right now.
No, and the defense has had absolutely no answer. He's been on the money. He's been on fire, making the right decisions and just carving this defense up.
Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. They think there's room to run to the right here. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, Just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, the running back has it. Just enough there to get it to the 25, a pickup of 2.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Dropping back, it's Dingle. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Can't make the play on the interception, and man, they were looking for their first pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 4th down. Kentucky will be forced to punt. They'll look to pin them deep. And the offense has a long field in front of them as the ball is marked down at the 10.
And that is a huge play in terms of field position. Nice job by the punter. And how about the Gunners getting downfield to down that ball?
Motion from the wide receiver.
Let's put 6 on the board, fellas.
To the air on first down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. He goes out of bounds, couple of yards short of the 20. They'll mark it at the 18. LSU quick to the line. The offense changing the play.
I want 6, not 3.
Wide receiver going in motion. 2nd down, he'll throw it.
That interception.
Makes the catch. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
That was a nice catch right near the line of scrimmage. Man, you want to get some yak after the catch and try to make a play, but that defense was right on him. Got him on the ground too quick.
Bully ball on 3rd and short. Stopped at about the 25-yard line, but it'll be a 1st down.
Well, as a defense, you know this is going to be a challenge every time you face this offense. They're one of the 25 best in the nation at getting first downs because they can pick them up in a variety of ways, including running the football. You've got to be physical when facing off against this offense.
Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a 1st down.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your looks up to try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
Yeah, and you got to love those matchups. When you get a running back matched up on somebody else, it's never going to be a cornerback. That's not going to happen. So finding a good matchup, getting that speed isolated, now I'm going to go attack and make some play.
Going over the top. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
And it's not a surprise who they're throwing the ball down the field to. I mean, he's already had a great day. They're going to feature him because he makes plays over and over again. And then trying to take another shot to him down the field. If I'm the defense, man, I'm focusing on that guy. He's made too many big plays today.
That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45. The Tigers pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Tight end now in motion. Looking to throw on 1st down. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Cox. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23. You string together a few games like this, and all of a sudden you're pursuing Jamar Chase for that single-season receiving record.
And pursuing some postseason hardware, too, baby. Like, you're trying to be the best receiver.
And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, LSU.
How about the day for this young fella? 3 receiving touchdowns. Hey, defense, that guy's good. We might want to do something about it. Let's send 2 at him. Let's send 3 at him. We can't let this guy continue to beat us time and time again.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll return it. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. One final play before the end of the quarter. Pulls it higher, complete. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the fourth quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Makes the grab. It's Yates. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. The Wildcats come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. On the option, he'll pitch it. And the 4th option there is to throw it in reverse, and that's what happened on that one. And here comes the punt team. Hauls it in and looking upfield. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around. Might be calling a hot route. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back.
Got that one right. Yeah, you got that
False
one
start
right.
on offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Direction. Military, stop guard.
The snap sets up the throw. Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one.
Well, I love play callers that want to stay aggressive, regardless of what the score is, regardless how much time is left on the clock. And I promise you this, there are a lot of fans, there are a lot of teams all across college football that are paying attention to what is happening right now.
Finds just enough room to pick up a couple down to the 26. The Tigers come to the line in the hurry-up.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
They've really got this offense humming. Just a 4th play of the drive, and it's 1st and goal. A designed run for the quarterback. Touchdown, LSU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They extend the lead here in the 4th, and after stumbling early, about to push their record to 3-1. And And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's recap that ACC matchup that has just gone final. Louisville found a way to pull out a victory. It wasn't vintage Cardinals football today. Those Cards fans won't remember this one forever. But they will remember it was a W. Never know what can happen when two good teams face off, but even the most plugged-in ACC fans have to be surprised by this one, fellas.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it, but the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
They punted away on 4th down. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
This is an area of the game on offense you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the 4th quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run it.
They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
Outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, and get out of here with the dub.
LSU right back to the line. The play action fake. Pressure coming. Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to find another play. It'll be 3rd down.
I think he's showing you his experience on that decision right there. There was nothing open, so don't try to force it into coverage. You've got the lead. If it's not there, just throw it away. The head coach loves to see his quarterback make that kind of decision.
They've got to come up with a big... Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back.
False start on offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense breaks the huddle on third down. Quarterback making adjustments. Just keeps slinging it. Throws for the tight end. Just a Barishnikov-like move on the sideline to tap that toe and get the first down.
You know, I love offensive coordinators that want to stay aggressive, and they've come up with big plays all game long. It's a big reason why they have this lead right now, and they're not backing off here in the fourth quarter. They're letting their guys go play. The entire playbook is open to them, and they're taking shots.
Wants to throw on first down. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds. That toe tap catch had a little style, but not much substance on that.
No, the defense did a good job, too, using the sideline to their advantage. Using the sideline as a 12th man. There was nowhere for that receiver to go except get 1 foot.
Got enough space. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conservative, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
Well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
Nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
Man, this offense just keeps trying to find something to go well. They're down so big. There's still time on the clock. Maybe they can put something together, but so far today, this has been ugly.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. Snagged out of the air. He is denied. Cannot get to the first down marker, and it's fourth down coming. The defense going to stop the clock with a time. Want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They boot it away, making sure there's no return on that one as the punt sails out of bounds. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You've put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Backed up now, here's second and long. Making side adjustments here. He'll try it again on second and 10. He's got him this time. Across midfield and out of bounds at the 49. A big pickup there.
How impressive has this guy been throwing the ball today, especially after the game he had last week throwing 3 interceptions. He turned the page. He got himself focused for this game, and he's been making outstanding decisions all day long.
And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. They're dealing with a second and long. Wants to go up top. Throws to the wideout. He makes a catch. They finally get
You know, as a coach, you have to love the progression your quarterback has made. After that nightmare of a performance a week ago, throwing 3 picks, he was able to put it behind him. He looks like a totally different player this week.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here. Wide open downfield. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. It's really not hard to find the difference between this game and the loss last week. Turned it over 3 times a week ago, none today.
And just a great response. Last week, you know, you're probably the reason you lost, and you didn't take care of the football. But now you step out here, you show your team you can bounce back, you can lead, take care of the football, and lead this team to victory.
He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. When we got the lead, this offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm.
And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet and not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe it's something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against the defense, playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
Bring in the heat. He's got his man. He goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
And this offense has not had much to cheer about. There's something right there. Let's see if they can string a couple of plays together. Listen, this game's probably over, but this offense has got to find some kind of a rhythm, something they can hang their hat on, so that moving forward, this offense has an identity.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
And I think this offense is all but surrendered, right? Like, they're down so much, they need to be throwing the football if they want to score a bunch of points to get back in this game, but they got to find something new.
There he goes. He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. They'll go to the ground. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a much...
Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40. Defense gets the timeout called. 20 seconds left on the clock.
And that play is a microcosm of what this game has been. They have not been able to protect their quarterback all game long, early or late, up front. Moving forward, this offense has got to do a better job, or else they're going to be in a lot of trouble. You cannot give up as many sacks as they have in this game and expect to win.
Working that left side now. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Timeout called by the defense. 13 seconds to go. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. Lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Got his man downfield. There he goes to the right. Pass to 10. Takes it into the end zone for the sound on the final play. The denouement. The epilogue.
Offside.
The finishing touch. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. Just complete and utter dominance in this one. Outplayed their opponent and took care of business.
Yeah, total domination in all